Hello viewers and welcome back to our Factorio series. Last time we had finished setting up a factory loop to produce iron plates, and as you can see up there, it's doing quite well. It's producing a ton of these plates, and well, we figured might as well be a fairly good thing to expand. And one of the things that we will require in our expansion is a system that'll help us fuel our power plants, more so doing it automatically, which would be a really big plus. So, one thing that I've done is that I've taken off the burner miner drills, which of course use coal to generate power, and instead what I want to focus on here is I want to start to focus on using electrical miner tech to do it for us. So I'm going to pluck down a whole wall of these electrical drills. I actually need a few more, but we can get started with this. Namely because we want to make I want to make a circuit that takes this coal, and because the only thing that we use coal for right now is supplying these boilers, I want for the vast majority of our things, I suppose I'll have that copper mine down there and that stone mine, but the main thing that we want to use coal right now is to sustain these boilers and to keep electrical energy generating. So with that said, we want to keep these boilers running, though they can only have 64 units of coal in them at one time, meaning that it'll be quite tedious running back and forth getting them supplied. So what I want to do is that I want to build a modular power plant, which can be supplied from this coal mine effectively by itself. Oh, that's right, and all the stone furnaces do need coal as well. So with that said, I mean, coal is ultimately the basis for our industry, meaning that it's quite crucial for keeping things running, meaning that it's definitely on our list of things that we want to do, and things that we want to do in great excess. So, with that said, what I want to do here is that I want to build a jumbo energy mine, which will just sort of strip out as much units of coal as possible inside this area. And it looks like yeah, this area is pretty much set up, and the general premise is that I want to get all of the units of coal first lined up and stored inside an area. Following that, I want it to be then sort of stored inside a few boxes, and from those boxes I wanted to actually go into those boiler arrays. So that is what I'm going to work on right now. And in a second here, what I plan on doing is that I also want to make a separate little thing that supplies this area with coal to generate electricity from here, because I feel like this area needs its own special little power plant. And we'll just bridge the gap over here like that. It'll start these rotors, it'll get them running. And let's see what we can do here. There we go. So it'll get all of these motors running, although it's actually it's actually not going to be enough to sustain all of these, but it'll keep this area running at a reduced rate. So I'm actually going to build another one of these little steam engines over here as well. But once that gets running, everything should be good. So what I have done here is that I've skipped the middle piping portion entirely because I found out that you didn't need it. So what we want to do here is that we want to go one of these outlets, we want to do the boiler immediately after it, and then steam engine, flip it around like that, connect it like that, put iron or put stuff in it, it'll start to boil, connect it to the electricity network, and that should supply these electrical mining drills to looks like for the most part full power. So they're producing coal now, and they're producing a decent amount of it. So with that decent amount of coal, what we want to do is we want to make a large system of belts to help us out here. So we want to get this belt to continue over here, down, and I'm pretty much just going to build this till it goes to our refinery over there, because that is the area where we want all of this coal to go to. And furthermore, it'll help us when we build our iron facility, or our copper facility down here as well. So this will be a really long belt, but it's going to go all the way, it's going to wrap all the way around here. And as you can probably tell, I mean, building these transporter belts is probably one of the objects that you want to do and get the game to automate for you, because you need a lot of them to go any real distance. Furthermore, I actually use them as sort of walkways, simply because they do increase your speed in whatever direction that you want to go into, actually, too. So, we want this belt network to do something like this. I wanted to come up here, I wanted to wrap around, and this will give us a few options to really just mess around with it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So, I wanted to come up here for one reason, and that is that I want to, let's see, I want to do this. With all of these units of coal, I want the game to store them inside these boxes over here. Just get rid of these two sections. So the game will just sort of store excess coal over here now, and it'll just sort of put them into these boxes. So from these boxes, what I can then do is that I can put down 2 inserter hands on the boilers themselves, put a little conveyor belt going to them from us over here, where actually what I'm going to do here is this. Now, like I said, these boilers are going to occasionally require coal, but they're not going to use them all the time. And with that said, actually I can probably get rid of this middle box, because I think that would be a little bit better. But they're not going to use them all the time, and what I can do is that I can hopefully make a daisy chain of these little hands here. Oh, and this little daisy chain of hands will then hopefully deliver coal to that boiler. It's not necessarily going to be very efficient, but it's going to be kind of neat to see in practice. Let's see here. So this one will go over here. I'm going to power this area up. That one's going to give that to that hand. It's going to bring it over here. But there's a little bit of a gap on this end portion here that I want to try to solve here. So one unit's going to be dropped right there. What I can do is I can move it forward like that, around to the side. That's going to put it there. And yeah, it looks like we'll be able to do this if I had some space, but I think you guys get the general premise here as to what I'm trying to do. It's just that like a lot of the things inside this game, I mean, there's a fair amount of adjusting towards it. So there we go. That'll chain it up to this tile. I see. We're out one tile here, which is the problem. So I actually want the goods to be pushed right over here. Yeah, so now power's gonna fail because we have just enough to because those engines are out. But I hope you guys see what I'm trying to do here with the coal. I wanted to run on this conveyor belt, and I want to make it so that this system effectively monitors its own coal use. And once it monitors its own coal use, it'll then supply itself with coal in the event that these boilers need them. So let's see this in action. So actually, if I remove the vast majority, if I remove the coal inside that boiler, the system will keep on working. And I suppose this is the most efficient way that I can think of right now. But these hands, they cost really, the little hand things themselves, they don't cost very much. They can only shift one unit at a time, seeing as how only one unit of goods can occupy 1/4 hex over here. Meaning that there will be a fairly low amount of waste, meaning the goods that are just sort of stored on this conveyor belt and in the open terrain here. But as soon as there's a requirement for coal inside that boiler, and it looks like if that boiler runs down to 5 units of coal, yeah, there we go. The hand will then insert 1 unit, keeping these 2 boilers running for hopefully indefinitely. And really, from this process, we don't want to make another chain over here. I'm actually going to get rid of this lab because I'm probably going to put it in another location. So again, we want to make the same type of little daisy chain. And I have a feeling it'll actually be better if we went in reverse this time, because that'll make it a little bit easier to just sort of understand the locations required. Ah, damn. Yeah, this one's also going to be slightly wasteful because, let's see. Eventually you get the... Oh, no, the system will work here. Eventually you get these... oh, wait, no, we do have a few of these. We have these long-handed inserters, which are able to pick things up from 2 tiles away. I don't know why I didn't build them any earlier, but yeah, they'll be able to pick up from very far away and drop off from very far away, so these things are also fairly useful. But anyhow, this will keep the 2 power plants here supplied for a fair amount of time. Furthermore, I mean, going off of this, I think I'll actually need some more power in the near future. So I'm actually going to build another one of these little daisy chain setups just so that we have a far more, resistant power supply. But yeah, this will just sort of keep doing its own thing. And in the meantime, this is going to store large amounts of iron or copper ore for us to really just use. Now, actually, I'm kind of regretting not having that 3rd box there, so I think I'll have it there, simply because it looks like the main stall inside this line is really just the fact that these blue-handed inserted hands cannot pick up as fast as the facilities over there can produce them. I think I'll have a few more of them as well. And electrical pole thing over there. So yeah, we have, so pretty much this entire chain just supplies itself, apart from the furnaces, which I see are currently empty. We effectively don't necessarily need to do anything inside this area, and again, factoring into the games is little bits and bobs about automation. It is one achievement, I suppose. And another steam engine right there. So let's see what we can do over here. I'm gonna need 1 unit of material right on that tile. Oh, perfect. I can should be able to just link it up like that. Yeah, there we go. That'll get another engine running. And as you can tell, this setup will just sort of do its own thing and keep its 3 engines running. And in the meantime, the ones over there I'm probably gonna have to manage, but I can also set up another loop to do them as well. And in the meantime, I should be just amassing huge swaths of coal, which I can come into my like little factory here and occasionally insert them into these stone furnaces, which don't use them up that fast. And the production pretty much just keeps going from there. So, with that sort of said, I mean, I think we've covered this section of the game. We have a stable source of energy, one that sort of sorts itself out, for the most part. And I think I'll just leave this episode here, and next time we will come back. Perhaps I'll expand this little refinery, seeing as how I see quite a little bit of backlog, just because of the fact that maybe it's because of these stone furnaces. Not having been run, properly at maximum efficiency. But we'll really just sort of see how this goes from here. See you guys then.